Hi friends. 2 Timothy 3:16 says that the Holy Scriptures are able to make us wise for salvation through faith in Christ Jesus. Well, as English speakers, we have more than 450 Bible translations available to us, but 2024 starts with 1,300 minority language groups with no Bible translations started among them yet.
So with your partnership, we're still engaged in Bible translation, in consulting and in training others with the skills they need to work with minority language communities.
Gwyn works from home here on the campus of Wycliffe and SAL Australia in Kangaroo Ground, northeast Melbourne. Let's go see what she's up to. Hey, what you doing?
Hi. So at the moment I'm doing a final read-through of Colossians in Papua Malay, which is the language that I work in most of the time. I'm doing a final read-through so that we can upload it to the YouVersion Bible app so that Papua Malay speakers can read or listen.
So what kind of things are you looking for?
I'm looking for any punctuation or formatting issues. Colossians it's had a exegetical check. It's had 2 rounds of comprehension checking, a team check and a consultant check. So I'm also making sure that in the midst of the changes that have been made, nothing's gone missing or been overlooked. So, for example, in chapter 1, verse 28, where Paul says, "He is the one we proclaim, admonishing and teaching everyone with all wisdom, so that we may present everyone fully mature in Christ." So in the Papua Malay, it read, so that everyone may be presented fully mature in Christ, whereas in the original, it's so that we may present, so the we being Paul and Timothy. So I made a note here for the translator Yos, and she's had a look, she's made the change, and so now I can resolve that note. And there are a few other things in chapter 1 that I found that needed to be fixed.
Cool. Can you tell us a bit about Yos?
Yeah, so Yos is married. She has 5 children. She's a very active member of her community and her church family. She's a really hard worker. So she works full-time as a translator with Papua Malay, and she has a real passion for seeing children in particular be able to learn about Jesus in their own language. This year she's going to be working on 1 and 2 Peter, and she also does a lot of the work for the Sunday school curriculum.
Great. And what else is going on for the Papua Malay team at the moment?
Well, the team recently became a not-for-profit organisation with the Indonesian government. The main benefit of this is that the team will have more credibility when they share about our work with Papuan churches and leaders. And we're also hoping that it will mean we qualify for some government grants. However, it's been a really complicated and time-consuming process trying to figure out how to comply with all the government requirements. We'd appreciate prayer for the leadership team and the new board. Here's a photo of the board. To have lots of wisdom and to communicate well with the rest of the team so that no one feels out of the loop or overwhelmed by all the changes. In terms of what I'm up to, for the first half of this year at least, my main focus will be working on Hebrews with Justin, the translator I worked with on Galatians, and I'll also be working on the 5th and final set of Sunday school curriculum. The 4th set is almost ready to send to the printer. Well, obviously, our end goal is not to produce materials or even to produce a New Testament or a complete Bible. The end goal is transformation of lives and communities as they grow in their relationship with Christ. So here's something a local pastor shared with the team recently to encourage you. They said, "As for me, I'm really happy with this translation. It really helps me prepare my sermons. I don't need to read all the commentaries to understand what it's saying. And I believe the congregation will understand really easily without me explaining much. Thank you, PM team. God bless you in every part of this ministry." Just up the hill from our house is the campus of SIL Australia, which is where Phil works most of the time, teaching some of the subjects for the graduate diploma of linguistics. So I'm just going to pop into his office now. Hi, Phil.
Hey.
What are you up to?
I'm preparing a phonetics class for tomorrow afternoon, so we'll be learning and
Interesting. And what does that have to do with Bible translation?
Well, most of the languages that need Bible translation are unwritten. And so to help communities like that with Bible translation, we need more than just theology and exegetical skills. But yeah, we need to be able to learn a language without a textbook, obviously make cross-cultural friendships, the skills to analyze a language and to understand how to translate from an ancient language and culture into a very different language and culture.
Right.
So at SILA, we've got students who are learning how languages are structured and how different cultures work, and lots of technical and practical skills. At the moment, we're in the middle of a 4-week intensive language and culture learning unit, and we've got 10 students from Australia and also 6 from Papua New Guinea and 2 from the Solomons, and they're already involved working with other minority language groups in their own countries, helping them with language development and Bible translation. Since we last saw you, I took a trip back to Papua to work on Titus with the Nimboran community. It was so good to be back in the village, staying with old friends, working hard each day and then cooling off in the river. We had a core group each day and then several others coming and going, so we were able to have different teams making second drafts for other teams to check, and we just managed to finish all 3 chapters in the week and a half I was there. After the intensive I'm teaching at the moment, we'll get Titus ready for a consultant check. Things have been pretty busy. I'm also checking Jude as a consultant in training for a language community in another part of Indonesia.
Thank you so much for your partnership with us.
And we'll see you next time.